31-27 final score for the Browns today over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Glad to see Cleveland get it done in a game that early on it looked like they might run away with. Then they had trouble putting it away because, unfortunately, the offense put the defense in a couple of pretty tough spots. But the defense largely did its job well, especially considering they were, well, frankly, tested more than normal. This is a group that has found itself struggling a little bit because of the fact that they're down several guys in the secondary. That's problematic, Anthony, and they got to figure out how to get healthy here soon.
No question about it. And we've seen it from the offensive side. The offense has been the injured group to this point in the year. And it's like, oh my gosh, all the injuries on offense, the defense is kind of dragging them along. Well, today it was the injury of the secondary. You get Denzel Ward, doesn't play. You get Juan Thornhill, who's a scratch right before the game. Grant Delpit goes down. And you just got guys who are just kind of falling. You're like, at some point, we're going to run out of safeties and we're going to run out of corner. Like, who's going to be back there? But they just kept battling. And kudos to Martin Emerson and kudos to Greg Newsome. I think that they were challenged probably after the last 2 weeks, and they stepped up. They came home. They felt like they got a little bit of their swagger back. And Martin Emerson with the 2 picks and all over the field making plays, and Greg Newsome with the interception as well. I thought those 2 guys specifically played their tails off for this team.
They needed to. I mean, Cleveland really had to lean on those guys to play well. And frankly, when your secondary is a little banged up, it puts a little more emphasis on the guys in the front end of the defense. You got to get better pressure from your defensive line to maybe take a little pressure off the guys there on the back end. And I thought the defensive line did a really good job today. Ultimately, Cleveland came up with obviously 4 turnovers, including the 3 picks, 2 of those from Emerson and then 1 from Greg Newsome. Had a couple of pretty key sacks, a couple of big tackles for loss. Obviously, the one that I think most stands out to me was the Myles Garrett sack on the 2-point conversion, right? Because that was a defining moment in the game where Jacksonville was basically saying, look, our plan is to go get a 2-point conversion, and then we're going to get an onside kick, and we're going to try to kick a field goal to win the game instead of trying to play for overtime. And so Myles coming up with that big sack was huge. Total of 4 sacks in the game for the Browns. And defensively, I thought they got their swag back. They looked more like the unit that was here most recently, not necessarily the team that was here, or I should say the team that played at Denver and out in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and my favorite sequence of the game, I thought that Myles Garrett play was awesome. But coming out of half, okay, it's 14-7, and, everyone was nervy at that point in time. It was like, hey, we pretty much dominated the game, and the offense is giving this Jacksonville team the game. Like, the 2 turnovers were horrible, and you're like, all right, you have that 7-point lead. You need a stop. Just get a stop so that it kind of kills that Jacksonville momentum. Well, the defense goes above and beyond. Not only do they go minus 11 on the first 2 plays, but then Anthony Walker with the strip, and then they recover it, and now the offense is set up on the inside the red zone, ready to go score. I thought that sequence right there showed me that, hey, these boys are back, and they're back to pulling this team to victories like they had been doing early in the season.
4 games left. Chicago Bears are coming to town next. Obviously, you got big games against Houston, the Jets, and wrapping up the season down in Cincinnati. But the Browns with a big win today. Thankfully, because of that defensive effort, now 8-5, and they are in terrific position. Nothing is clinched in terms of playoff berths or anything like that. But this one, in my mind, goes a long way in giving Cleveland very realistic aspirations for having a lengthy run in the postseason. So we'll see what happens, but certainly a good day. The defense was a big part of it. For all the latest news and info on the team, we got you covered. BrownsDigest.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. We'll continue to give you video content just like this.